do you think you have to go to university to become a millionaire?
I think yes.
If you're thinking of dropping out of uni, I would do it.
So if you want to make $1 million, you'd better drop out from the university.
We teach them a lot of rubbish.
Sure. Sorry. Do you really need to go to university to become a millionaire? A recent study found that 4 universities in Australia are known to have educated some of the richest people in the world. UNSW, Sydney Uni, Monash and the University of Melbourne have been named among the most elite academic institutions that are most likely to produce millionaire students. Affluent Australians such as Harvey Norman co-founder Jerry Harvey, Qantas CEO Alan Joyce and Australia's second richest person Andrew Forrest all hold bachelor degrees after graduating from university. But do the majority of millionaires we hear about every single day even hold university degrees? Or were most of them university dropouts or had no education at all? In early 2023, Forbes published the top 50 richest Australians. On the list, the number of people that graduated from university were only 16%, with 84% of people on the rich list having no degree at all. Today, I had the privilege of speaking to 2 multi-millionaire university dropouts, question them about this topic that so many young people are wondering about. But first, I wanted to go and see what everyday university students thought about this subject. All right, what's your name?
Holly.
And you go to Sydney University?
Yes.
And what degree do you study here?
Bachelor of Psychology.
Software engineering, same software.
What made you decide to go to university?
Well, I'm a Chinese, so it's tradition. You must go to a university anyway. Dad, my mom love you guys.
I've always known I wanted to go to university. I don't know. I really enjoyed psychology at school, so I was like, I'm going to become a psychologist. Okay. That's a plan.
I'd say that I don't know where else to go other than university to find a career path. Yep. So I pretty much followed this and scholarships.
Oh. How much are you paying for your degree?
Oh, jeez. My tuition fee is being paid by my sponsor.
30k?
80,000.
How are you planning on paying that off?
Buying the lottery every Thursday.
You think university makes people millionaires?
They can give you the tools you need to become a millionaire.
It depends on what you're studying.
I want a stable job, a simple life.
Okay.
That's it.
Nice.
It's sort of becoming less important to a lot of jobs now.
And how are you guys planning on becoming millionaires?
Hustlers University.
Firstly getting into my field, but then starting business later on.
After hearing what the students had to say, I wanted to go a little bit deeper and find out how exactly their university teachers and professors were preparing them to succeed in the real world. What is your name and what do you teach?
Cameron Esselman, responsible business mindset.
How are you preparing your students to become financially independent?
Well, as I said, I don't know that we train them specifically to be financially independent. We hopefully train them to go out and get the job that they want, and through that they might gain financial independence.
And what business experience do you personally have?
Well, I've got 12 years in the British Army. I was the head of software development at Arnott's Biscuits, chief information officer at Sheridan Sheets. By mistake, did my PhD. And here I am.
Do you think the world is different now and universities aren't teaching students relevant information?
That's a difficult one. We teach them a lot of rubbish. We teach them a lot of good things. They themselves have to synthesize what they're going to use. We didn't use a lot of the electronic gadgets we use now. We didn't have Zoom. And I think we have to get very careful. We're not sort of going away from some of the basic core educational requirements of someone to go into business.
Do you think it's more important for them to study business or get real life experience?
Oh, I think it's a mix, but they have the opportunity now to get real life experience. And I think we should increase that opportunity for them.
And do you have any success stories of students that have become wealthy from your teachings?
No.
I could see that a lot of young aspiring entrepreneurs go to university to study business as a way to learn the knowledge that they believe will help them succeed in the real world. How necessary is it to learn about business at university for 3 to 4 years, as opposed to just jumping in the deep end and starting? I went to visit my good friend Dylan Mullen, the founder of beauty tech company Happy Skin Co. Dylan ended up dropping out of university and then went on to build himself a $25 million e-commerce empire in just under 2 years. What are your thoughts on university? Do you think university is worth it?
Well, as someone who went to uni, I lasted about 2 months. So obviously my answer is going to be no. I think there is a little bit of it's not a black and white answer. I think there are some industries, like if you want to be a lawyer, doctor, an engineer, that you have to go to uni, you don't have a choice. But apart from that, I don't see the point in university. But I'm proof. I was studying law. Every single person I was studying law with, I make more money in a year than they would have made in their whole career since they graduated.
And what did your parents think when you dropped out?
They were shocked. at first. Like I said, I was ducks in year 11, I came second in year 12, so I was always a really smart kid. All my family and all my teachers expected me to go to uni. If there was one person that they had to say would graduate uni, I would have been the person. So me dropping out after 2-3 months, it was obviously a shock, but every one of them knew, especially my family, my parents, that once I get an idea in my head or once I make a decision on something, there's no talking me out of it. So I started a business called Happy Skin Co. about 5 years ago now. I had no experience, but I knew I wanted to do something in beauty. Found a gap in the market. I know it's a cliche. I saw a lot of products that were being successful based off the idea of being able to take a service that used to be done inside like a clinic or a spa setting and revolutionize it and be able to give people a product that they can do at home themselves for a much cheaper price in their own time. It's a recipe for success.
How much you've done in sales?
Over 40 million.
Over $40 million over 5 years?
Over 5 years, and this is a kid, bro, from Western Sydney. Like, we saved up all our money to invest in the business. Made it happen, put all our eggs in the one basket, as some would say, but fuck, it paid off, so.
If someone has a goal of making $1 million and also wants to drop out of uni, what would your advice to them be?
Well, if you're thinking of dropping out of uni, let's just start there. I would do it because there's no harm in it. Even if you want to go back to uni in 2, 3 years, 4 years time, it's fine. Like the risk that you're taking by leaving uni is way smaller than the risk that you're taking by actually putting yourself through something that makes you depressed. And in terms of where I would start, that's exactly it, bro. What you said, I would start. 90% of people who want to start a business, they get to the research phase or the seeking inspiration phase, but they don't actually make it through it. So actually seek out mentors that have achieved things that you want to achieve, watch their content, see if you can work for them for free, model what they've done, and then you can create your success based off that.
All right, bro. Thanks for your time, brother. Appreciate it. Legend. Dylan's story and his huge success in such a short time was super inspiring. But for the sake of this experiment, I wanted more proof. I decided to meet up with a man named Nick Bell, a university dropout who started his journey with only $300 in startup capital. Nick is a serial entrepreneur based in Melbourne, who was listed on the AFI Young Rich list 5 years straight and now has a net worth of a crazy $300 million. Welcome to Sydney.
Mate, thanks for having me.
Once again,
it's good to be here.
You're from Melbourne, right?
Yeah, but I always come up here every
nice.
couple of months or so.
Yeah, beautiful. Wanted to sort of dive into your success upon the years.
Laid on me.
The first thing I kind of wanted to ask you is like, what got you started into business?
It was purely necessity.
Yeah.
So I worked as a waiter for many years.
Yeah.
Money wasn't great, so I started my own business. But then after the first year, I was like, I'm making $50 a week, and I thought in the first year I was going to make $1 million.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
So 5 years later, I'm like, fucking hell, I need some cash.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd start a side hustle, which is digital marketing from my bedroom. And it blew up very quickly.
Wow.
Just from my bedroom, I was working in my jobs, cold calling people.
No way.
Yeah.
And so when you first got into business, did you have any prior experience or qualifications?
University dropout.
Yeah.
Barely, like I finished high school,
Yep.
but then, mate, I was working in hospitality for X amount of years, so no experience at all. It's purely self-learned.
And when you dropped out of uni, what did your parents say or what did your friends say when you did that?
My parents, they knew that I wasn't into it, and they said, look, if you're not going to go to university, get a full-time job. So look, I'm building something, trust me, it's going to work.
Yep.
And then obviously it took longer than I expected, but when it happened, I didn't say I told you, I was like, I sort of told you a little bit it was going to work.
Absolutely.
So, but that, mate, they're very happy for me.
And along your journey, did you ever think like you'd make it to, being worth $274 million as net worth? Or?
Well, my objective was to make $100,000 a year.
No way.
That was it. I said, if I make $100,000 a year, I'll be the happiest man in the world.
Yeah.
And then you get to that, you go, all right, what's next?
Yep.
And then after that, you get to another level, go, what's after that?
Yep.
So I generally compete with myself internally.
Sure. Sorry.
Can I just ask you, give me permission to go inside the hotel?
Security kicked us out of his hotel, so sorry if you can't stay there anymore.
Whatever.
My bad. You can stay at my place when you come to Sydney next. Just a last piece of advice for those out there considering going to university, but maybe they don't want to or their parents are forcing them to. What would your advice be?
If you want to start a business, my recommendation is just start, but find a niche that you're really passionate about, and from there you can go, okay, I know exactly what's wrong with this industry and I can fix it.
Yep.
And then just go into it.
Cool. Amazing, man. Really appreciate it.
Mate, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
It was great to see that there are so many people out there creating success by throwing themselves into the market and not looking back. I met a lot of people who had unique perspectives on whether or not university plays an important part in their journey. Making $1 million is important to some people, but may not be as important to others. Myself coming from an Asian family on my dad's side, this definitely played a part as to why I went to university in the first place. After some time, I realized that it wasn't for me, so I left. I was still able to create something worthwhile for myself. There are endless opportunities in the world today. So make sure you guys do what works for you, get out there and make the best life you possibly can for yourself and for your family.